establishes that bacteria were one of the first life forms to evolve from chemicals. Many bacteria propel themselves with a type of miniature motor called a flagellum. These extremely efficient reversible motors rotate up to 100,000 revolutions per minute. While bacteria are small, they are not simple.
Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Have you heard of the flagellum? A natural engine powered by a proton medium. It's a motorized bacterium that rotates up to 100,000 RPM. That's rotations per minute, and it can instantly reverse. We make nothing equivalent. 1/1,000th of an inch in diameter. Everything man-made is inferior to the superior technology. See the handiwork of God in molecular biology. Irreducibly complex. If any one part's removed, it would not exist. Analogous to a mousetrap, it cannot snap without corresponding parts that react. No transition could survive transformation. Mutations gain no genetic information. Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Speak the language of genetic code. Explore the program sequence of the human genome. More impressive and perplexing than expected. Like hieroglyphics read by a dyslexic. Can we understand the brains and the dynamics? Train a dog to be an auto mechanic, because that's a good analogy. Never begin to imagine all the depths of His Majesty. Created instantly and magically. Through what is made, we examine divine ingenuity. From the hands of the Most High, from the land to the sea to the ends of the skies. It boggles minds what cannot be seen with the naked eye, like the gyroscopes in a housefly. Let's biomimic these agilities and make a jet plane that flies with the same capabilities. Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Read my DNA sequence. If you can and you understand, I'm programmed to bring this. Take a trip inside my helix. As I guide you, we spiral to this beat from genetics. Stick to your brain like the surface of a gecko foot. Reverberate and pulsate like an echo would. Predestinated protoplasm. Breathing bionics. Atomic particles vibrate and spasm. Harness the power of electrons. To microscope out the proof. Analyze like Jimmy Neutron. Curious homo sapien. Observe this world through the eyes of an alien. Moving like robotic automatons. Designed like Robotron. We are mechanical phenomenons. Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
This could change the course of human history.
Dig to reveal the roots of technology. Dig to separate truth from mythology. Dig to unveil a modern day mystery.
If you have a complex, multi-part biochemical machine, the argument is that evolution can't produce it because the individual parts have no function of their own. That's what irreducible complexity means. So natural selection can't make this, doesn't have any function. Can't make that, can't make that. Therefore, you can't evolve a structure.
Good evening, everybody. You guys know who that is. Destiny Lab, DestinyLab.com. Go get you some of that fantastic music. We'll hear some more of them at the end of the show. All right. Jumping over here to the Skype thing. Everybody's ready to come on, man. Let's get this party started. Mr. Vaughn West. Boom. And we got to listen to the ring. Everything is shut off, but it won't stop ringing for whatever reason. Howdy, Vaughn. What's going on?
What's happening?
Oh, not too much, man. Let me jump over here and get everybody else added into the call. Boom. There's David. Add more people. There's Charlie Urbanczyk finally getting his ass on the microphone. People, let's see who else is coming on here. Let's try J-Rod, see if he's going to answer. Saturdays, he usually likes to come on Saturdays and stuff, so we'll see. I don't know if Lance is going to make it or not because he was moving earlier today when I chatted with him on the phone or texted him on the phone. We'll try him anyway.
He's just moving across the street. How cares?
That's what I said too. That's why I was giving him shit too. He's like, I'm moving, ugh. And I was like, across the street, man. Come on. You can carry shit over one at a time with a beer in the other hand. Make a full day thing of it. Yeah, I'm just giving him shit though. I know what it's like to move. I hate moving. You know, I'm going to be doing it one last time, hopefully, when this place sells and I move to wherever the heck I'm going. So I think I'm going to do quite a bit of. I'm going to do quite a bit downsizing when I move to this new place, just so I don't have to move too much shit. So
no, don't throw anything away because just put it in a box. Because after you've been there for about a month, you're going to say, "Holy shit, I threw that away."
Well, yeah, we'll see. And you know, hopefully, I'll have a big storage place or something that I can just cram it all into and forget about it until I need it. So that those things work. All right, we're underway. Who else is on here, man? Dave made it. Yeah.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, buddy? Who else made it? Charlie, are you making it?
I see his avatar.
Do you?
Charlie. Up.
He's there. I see him lit. He's just not talking. I guess he must have a frog in his throat. All right, let's get this fucking shit underway, man. What do we got new to talk about over there, David? What's on your stack of stuff?
Oh, all kinds of stuff today.
Oh,
that's
boy.
crazy for a Saturday, too.
Let's get it on. Wait, I got something. Hang on.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I haven't played any buttons in a while. So there we go. Okay. Off you go.
A lot of stuff coming out of North Korea today. They come out and they basically said they reject any preconditions to these talks. They're not going to give up their nuclear weapons, but they will talk to us.
Your voice still
now
sounds horrible.
Now it's in Trump's court again of what's he going to do. Is he going to drop? You don't have to get rid of your nukes while we're talking. So the question's on him now. So we're going to see which direction this is going to go now. I mean, we knew that Little Kim was going to come out and say this. So now it's up to us. Are we going to lower our standards to talk to them? Or are we going to stick with you need to get rid of your nukes? Because if that's where we're going to stick, North Korea just said not going to happen.
I don't know, man. You know, it's a like we said from the very beginning when they were doing the whole my button's bigger than your, but it's just a prick waving dick fight, man. You know, Trump. I don't know. I don't know. Vaughn, you want to add in on this one? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, 1 minute we're going to talk with them, the next minute, no, we need to go to war. Then somebody else will say, no, we need to talk with them, and then somebody else on the same administration will say, no, war's the best thing. Who wasn't Lindsey Graham?
Tillerson, our Secretary of State, came out, about a month and a half ago, and just come out publicly and said, we will talk to you, North Korea. We'll talk to you about the weather. We'll talk to you about anything. We just want to sit and talk with you. Then Trump come out the very next day and said, no, we won't talk to you unless you get rid of your nuke.
That's why I can't figure it out, what's going on, because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing in this administration, and it makes me nervous for one, and it makes me just shake my head for two.
Oh, yeah, it makes you very nervous. A person should be nervous.
What I saw during that meeting on the gun discussion and the bills that they want to pass and the new laws, that was a total upside down meeting.
Yeah.
If that's how he's running his business, this seriousness about talking to North Korea and what they're going to do and not going to do, who in the hell can take this man serious? I'm serious about this. He's sitting there buddying up with people that he's supposed to despise, and yet they're telling him how to run the show, and he's asking Pence, and Pence is not buying into some of this crap. It's crazy, guys.
Sometimes it makes you wonder why Trump even picked Pence, because it seems like they're complete polar opposites of one another, But it also seems in the last couple of weeks that this Donald Trump is the complete polar opposite of the Donald Trump that was running for president, with the whole gun grab thing, and we'll take their guns before they get due process and they can fight to get their guns back later in court. What the fuck is that shit?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. We're talking about a man.
Right. But this is a rabbit hole. We're talking about North Korea right now, so we'll jump back to Trump here in a minute, right? Let's squash the whole North Korea thing, and then we'll go back to Donald J.
Okay, it got leaked out by our Pentagon. Now, whether the leak was on purpose or accident, or there's a reason behind it. A lot of people believe they leaked out the day before yesterday. That they did 2 tabletop exercises of us battling North Korea. In the opening salvos, and I think this number's low, but still it's shocking because we haven't seen this. They said in the opening salvos, we will automatically lose 10,000 American troops right off the bat.
They didn't say anything about all the civilians in Seoul?
No, they didn't say nothing about that. They just
combat casualties. Okay.
It's military casualties. It says that the numbers will be, the deaths will be to 10,000 at least. They said there could be up to 12,000 or more wounded right off the bat. Yeah. But it's going to be some we haven't seen in our lifetime. And now, so people are wondering why the Pentagon leaked this out. Did they leak this out so everybody would look at how crazy Trump is, what Trump's fixing to do, and they want people to know and
Trump's
try to stop him?
Trump's not the only one, though. I mean,
Did they leak it out because they're just coming out and telling us, hey, this is fixing to happen, everyone, you need to be ready?
Yeah. Purchase your coffins now. Too. There's going to be a run on them.
They said at least 10,000 dead right off the bat. That's insane. We've only got 24,000 there. And they're going to sacrifice these guys in North Korea. And it really
that's exactly what it is, too. That's exactly what it is. I'm glad you said that word because that's exactly what it is. It's a sacrifice to their satanic ruler.
And like I said, that's just the opening days. This war will go, will expand as it goes along. It's going to drag in China. It's going to drag in Russia. You got Putin going on TV showing off his 3 new nuclear weapons, making a propaganda video of the Sarmat missile hitting Florida. Putin has never made propaganda videos before. And he came out and put this out in his speech showing. He said, this is where my new nuclear missile is dropping, right here in Mar-a-Lago, Florida.
I saw a article earlier today. I don't know if you posted it or not. You might have. I'm not sure. That ties Hillary, when she was Secretary of State, to the technology that Russia has achieved to make their nuclear missiles hypersonic.
Yeah, I saw something on the...
So, yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there, too. But, yeah, he's...
both sides are involved,
You got to wonder if he's been talking to Lil' Kim's PR people, with the whole video. And that's a direct poke in the chest to Donald Trump,
Putin is telling Trump, dude, if you want a war, we're ready for war. We know they showed off their new cruise missiles. They can go like what they say at 16 or some record numbers, the fastest nuclear cruise missile in the world.
Yeah, hypersonic. That's the whole
hypersonic, yeah. Dude. It's just something like 66,000 miles an hour or something like that.
That's the whole Hillary Clinton story. So,
they showed us that one that comes out of the sub, then comes out of the water and travels like 100 miles up the beach, and then it detonates. And he's I don't believe him and Trump were close whatsoever now. That or they turned on each other. Something happened, but he's letting the elite know we're ready for nuclear war, and then he come out and said, he says, we won't do a first nuclear, a first strike. We'll do a defensive, we're not going to launch our nukes on an offensive mission, but we will defend ourselves. And basically Russia come out the same doctrine us even if you drop a conventional weapon on us, we'll retaliate with nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And that's where Trump changed our stance at the end of last year too. Now,
hey man, that's the Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Yeah. Saying even just one conventional missile will result in a nuclear strike from us or them.
Yep.
So and it's coming close, man. Putin showed off those 3 nukes very publicly the other day for a direct poke at us.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we're poking the bear, literally. And
the Sukhoi 57, their brand new fighter bomber, has been flying, strategic runs over in Syria. They made a big fluff of that on RT for a couple days, actually.
Yep.
So yeah, they're letting the world know we ready.
Well, we come out. Trump came out, the big article yesterday, and it told the Assad regime in Syria, we're fixing to attack you, And then it also come out that we've got over 20 bases established now in northern Syria. 20. When we were being told 2.
We're not even supposed to be in that country because we don't have authorization from the government.
And Putin's pissed about it, and we won't leave.
Yeah. Well, I still think he's got, go ahead, Vaughn.
That deal with Syria, when they were supposed to gas their own people, well, Turkey, the prosecutor in Turkey, in the head of prosecution of the country, he brought paperwork forward to the board and showed where, in that period of time, that they were actually running a pipeline of that across different countries there to get it in there to do that. And it came from, they wouldn't say directly that it came from America, but they have a way of detecting the chemistry formation of that stuff or where it came from. And they said it didn't come from anything that Syria had. So therefore, the blame on Syria was removed. Now, Turkey is why they're pissed off at us, is because they have come to the light what's going on, and Russia is kind of in bed with Turkey on that deal. So, we've got a lot of things that are really lining up against us and Israel that we're in a hell of a mess right now. Now we got Putin pissed off because he's in the mix, and he's already shown, like Dave said, and you said, Jim, that he's bringing forth everything he's got on the board. And what he's got on the board is pretty serious stuff, So what he's doing, he's trying to show the world, okay, bring it on. But yet America has not yet shown what they have. That's the scary point. In fact, I don't even believe anybody walking in town or any around these bases or anything have any idea what they really have to bring forth. I think there's something going on that's about to come down in a way that it's just going to change the whole dynamics of this world.
You're exactly right. We're fixing that. We're going to have a nuclear war.
That's for sure. What's up, Charlie?
And the question is how bad is it going to be, And it's only going to take, people don't stop and talk about Pakistan and India. They've been going at it really hard the past year.
We've been talking about it here.
Pakistan just showed off a brand new nuclear missile and launched it the other day, too, to show Pakistan. And so they're going to go at it, too, man. And them two alone can do some destruction to this earth. Just them two. People don't stop and think. We've got nukes stationed all over Europe. And China's got their nukes out. They've been advertising some things that one with 10 warheads on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of damage with one missile with 10 separate warheads on it. They can go 10 different directions.
We got the same kind of technology here, evidently.
Yeah.
So, no telling what China's got. No telling what Japan's got. No telling what Israel's got.
Yeah, no one knows really what Israel's got except us.
Right.
Have they all got to a big meeting at one time at one of these conferences and decided that this is how many people they're willing to sacrifice in each one of these countries to depopulate? I begin to wonder this, guys, because China built their army up, and you got to remember, China had that one-child deal, and they got a lot of men, so they've got a lot to sacrifice. Russia, I begin to wonder just how heartless these leaders are, and who's behind all this stuff, if they're willing not to have this great battle and loss of life on purpose, not because they want to gain anything or there's anything to gain, it's just depopulation. That's my opinion.
It's depopulation, and they don't have hearts, brother. I mean, these people are soulless individuals. They're satanic at their core, and they couldn't give a shit less how many people they kill so long as it's not them. It's just as simple as that. I mean, they figure that the less people that are on the planet, the more shit they got for themselves, right? It's all about greed. It's all about control of resources and people and
greed and power.
Hey, Charlie, what's up, man?
Hey.
Hi, Charlie.
Add in here, brother.
Bud.
Come on, add in. We're talking about the whole North Korea.
I agree.
Kim Jong-un.
Well, no, I agree. Well, getting in on the whole the elite looking over, what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and it is just the depopulation. Mm-hmm. They don't give a shit. They're just they're gonna destroy everybody. They don't give a flying fuck about us. Never have, never will. And you're right. It's all about them, and that's why the people that are out there that are into big daddy government and feel that is their god. Then you know what, you're gonna get screwed by your own god pretty hard. Yeah. It's going to be a sad day for you when your eyes finally open up and you realize that you are just you're a chump. You were a chump the whole time, and you were on the wrong side of history. So
you guys all heard Madeleine Albright years ago in an interview when she was confronted straight to her face about the Iraq War killing nearly 500,000 children, and she was asked straight to her face if she thought it was worth it, and she said yes, it was worth it.
That's insane.
I mean, it's well. This thing on the AR-15. This is still related to the war. CNN had that fella on there, and I did a video on it. It pissed me off so bad when I heard it. That his statement was that somewhere in the 80s there was a document sent out that the men had made a statement that if they'd had the AR-15, they would have been able to kill more Viet Cong. And that struck me hard. For one thing, this man don't even know what the war was. And to think for one freaking moment that us Marines or any other military that was involved in that campaign went there to kill people on purpose, okay? That, to me, is a heartless statement, but that's the mentality of the people we're dealing with today. This is what they see. In other words, we feel bad that we didn't give the men the right equipment to do more killing. So they don't care about nobody. They don't care about a damn thing.
They don't care about the people that were doing the killing either. They couldn't give a shit less about the soldiers that are fighting for their empire, let alone the civilians. They just don't give a shit about
these guys.
Any
don't care two shits about their next door neighbor.
These wars are all just a distraction anyway.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's all they are. These countries really don't hate each other. They want the same thing in every country. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the world gatherings, the fucking UN Council and all that, they're all standing shoulder to shoulder, whether they hate each other or not, supposedly, right? And they all go out for steak dinners at the same fucking restaurants and talk to each other and drink beers together, after the cameras are off. And it's all just a game. It's just a game. And we're the pawns.
Yeah, DC is full of the actors that couldn't make it in Hollywood.
Exactly. And we treat them as such. This country treats them like royalty. And they're public servants. Everyone on Capitol Hill should make minimum wage. They're public servants.
Well, it started out that way years ago, that the money that was being made for them was just enough for them to come in out of the states and have their meetings and make their discussions and make and adjust what needed to be done for the country, and went back home because they could not afford to leave their farm and their family and support their family from a farm. That's a reality, guys. But now what it has become, they have more homes than we'll ever know about, and more money that they don't never have to leave anywhere. But yet they don't even work a full week.
They don't work
Half
a
the
full
time
year.
they're sleeping during those meetings.
Only 30% of the time out of the year do they spend working for the people. 70% of the time they spend motoring around at our expense, asking for handouts for their next campaign. That's the facts.
So if anybody out there is questioning the fact whether or not Trump is going to be supported for any war, a matter of fact, all he's got to do is say it's to keep this country and the children safe, just like Hitler did. Whatever. It's for the children, okay?
Oh, yeah.
What he wants.
Yep. Reliving history.
The fact that he's done a complete 180 since he was running for president and the trumpets out there don't say anything about it shows you just how brainwashed they are into the left-right paradigm. They couldn't he could go full dim on them now and they would still back him 100% because they think that he's anointed by God. And
that's
he's not.
Exactly what I was going to say. I've been watching a lot of people from the beginning, how much they thought he was going to be the one, the answer, the Cyrus, the one that's going to be appointed by God to make things different in this country. And yet now he's showing the other side of Cyrus that destroyed the country that he lived within, and they still ain't bitching and they ain't complaining. And I guarantee you, everybody, I've heard scuttlebutt, well, they won't vote him back in. I hate to change this, but they're going to vote him back in because he's going to make sure they have to. He's going to take us to war. Do you realize during a war campaign, you cannot do anything to a president? He holds the office, and that's it. Only way, unless he takes a bullet to the head, and then that's a different question altogether. You know.
Mm-hmm. Looked like somebody tried to hit my stream just now, but it's still there. That's okay. Okay.
See, there's a lot of people out there biblically trying to say Obama is the Antichrist, and he's going to come back in.
He's running for UN Security Council chief.
He'll get it. He'll get it.
So, all that we were talking about back when he was in office, that he was going to get out and run for the UN.
We just need to all be preparing for a very, very long camping trip.
See. They're hitting my encoder. Just so you people know, they're trying to take my stream down. They're hitting my encoder right now. I don't know if it's YouTube doing it or if somebody's out there fucking with it.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're hitting my YouTube encoder. So.
Uh-oh. They're mad at us. We must have hit some nerves.
Aww.
I just want to, it's up and running again now. It's hiccuping for whatever reason. I'm showing 555 dropped frames now, so they're hitting me. I just want to let you guys know if they knock me offline, that's why. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday because I'm not going to fight it and try to come back. I got too much shit to do. I got to get this house ready. I get the realtor coming by tomorrow to take pictures and stuff. So
yeah, how's that coming along?
It's going good, man. This place is as shiny as it's been since I moved here. So, yeah, it's going good.
I tell you what, you mentioned earlier about the downsizing thing, and I mean, everybody knows that I've been doing that for some time now, and it's amazing what you could pull out of storage and either sell or give away, and how much of a burden is lifted off. Not just your everyday life of cleaning and physicality, but mentally. It just frees your mind. And when you wake up in the morning, you really have no worries whatsoever, other than what you choose to focus on. And it's great having less and less stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some major downsizing in this next relocation.
It's awesome, dude.
This
final relocation. When I came out of the Marine Corps, if I couldn't put it in my foot locker or in a backpack, in one of the travel sacks, I didn't need it. I absolutely freaking didn't need it, and I lived that way for quite some time.
Yeah, but then we all buy houses and get shit and hang stuff on walls, and the clutter creeps in, and a lot of wasted money and all that other shit. And then we turn around and like you're getting ready to do, Jimmy, is move, and you go, "Geez, oh man, how did this happen?" So yeah, it's tough. It's tough keeping it minimal because society says, if you don't have shit, then you ain't shit. And
consumerism.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, there's consumerism, there's smart consumerism, and then there's Walmart. And so you either choose exactly the items that you want and have less of it, or you could just buy shit, and that's what a lot of people do to fill those voids in their life, and it's sad. It really is. You're exchanging hours of your life for dollars to pay for shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
justify it.
It would be nice if we get one of these big box stores to do a lease and loan. In other words, I just want to borrow it a little bit and use it and then bring it back undamaged. That way I don't get a clutter. I've always thought that would be a great idea. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
here's some big news.
Already.
Here's some news coming out.
Go ahead.
This came out, says, China's president has absolute power now. Trump just gave a speech at Mar-a-Lago, and this is what he said. He said, Trump on China's Xi consolidating power. This is what Trump said, and it's in quotations. I guess they've got it here in video. Maybe we'll give that a shot someday.
Yeah, running for king. There's a lot of people in China pissed off about Xi Jinping, whatever his name is, going for the emperor. He wants to be.
It sounds like a ricochet. Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
So Trump is already saying, he should be president for life in this country.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That's what he's saying. Maybe we'll give that a shot someday.
He's 70. He's 78. So
what president of the United States says that maybe we'll give that a shot one day.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just give it a shot.
It'll be a shot of revolution. That ever happened. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Do you openly say that, Dave, out in Largo? Say that to people?
What's that?
Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
And people are listening to this guy?
They think he's anointed by God.
He wants to be a king.
They think he's anointed by God. I'm telling you right now, if he ever came out and said that he wanted to be king, half this country would go, yeah! Make America great again!
Just like they did with Obama.
Fuck yeah.
Same thing. People are so...
brainwashed. Brainwashed.
Yeah.
Stupefied. Stuck on stupid.
Yep.
I need somebody to tell me how to live my life because I can't do it on my own. Fuck off.
So he's no longer our servant. Now all of a sudden he's become our king. I thought we only had one king. That was the Lord himself.
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa. Calm down there. The believer of the guy in the sky. Not to these knuckleheads.
We can't have that rhythm, can we? That's a bad.
No. He's got to be in a suit telling us lies. Damn it.
Eat a dick.
Oh, why you got to be like that?
Wasn't talking to you, man. I was talking to everybody.
Okay. I was like, come on.
I was talking to the administration.
Funny.
I was talking to the administration. The Senate and Congress and yeah.
Absolutely, they do. They need to.
That's exactly what they feel too, Charlie. That's crazy.
They need to get their tonsils buttered. Yes.
All right. What else are we going to talk about now?
I don't know. This FU talk is pretty fun.
Hey, Charlie, I want to ask you, man. Since you're out on the military bases every day, doing your thing for the government, contractor-wise, what?
I'm not a contractor, but okay.
Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Civilian
employee.
Mm-hmm.
What's the scuttlebutt around campus? Is everybody prepping for war? Because I've seen some posts from some other people I know that are in, and they are. Nobody's saying a whole lot. Nobody's telling them what's going on. There's orders that are coming down, and people are getting ready to go overseas for an extended period of time, telling their families goodbye, blah, 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 blah.
Right now, I mean, the dynamics of the base that I'm on has changed quite a bit in the last 2 years anyway. So the I don't know what's going on with other bases, but right now I'm not seeing a huge move to push aircraft out to deploy right now. That doesn't mean that's not going to change, but just for right now.
Okay.
My cousins has been going to be deployed in the Navy for 2 years.
You know, I'll tell you a big thing that came out, was it last week or the week before? Our naval hospital ship, the biggest hospital ship in the world, the Mercy, I think it is. It's heading that way right now with three regular naval destroyers. And so that was a big sign to me. They're prepping over on that end. When they're sending the hospital ship, they said it'll be there around the beginning of April. And so, you know, that ship was around when I was in the Navy. Thing's massive. It's got, like, I don't know, 4 major operating rooms on it and all kinds of stuff. It can hold so many 10,000 patients or something.
Yeah, they don't just usually roll that out for routine.
You know, they're trying to say, well, it's going to be for humanitarian relief around the.
That's the excuse every fucking time, humanitarian reasons.
But yet they're sending 3 naval destroyers with it.
Oh, escort. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, escorts. That's what they're called.
Yep.
It's not going to be another track.
Let me turn to page 32,055. Yep, let's name it this. Yeah, that's exactly. It's the same fucking show.
So that's a big red flag. You know, we're supposed to start our full eagle annual drills with South Korea, and this is what North Korea's been wanting us not to do anymore.
I smell corn in that shit.
Trump came out and said, well, we're still going to do them. They're probably going to be most likely the first week of April. But what's interesting, there is a diplomatic move being made. South Korea, President Moon is sending a high-level envoy from South Korea to Pyongyang the next week, I believe, or even tomorrow. And supposedly his job's going to be trying to get something going between us and North Korea, which I don't see happening. And even though North Korea said they would talk to us, our preconditions, unless we give up, tell them not to give up nukes, it's going to be no change, So even though they're trying this diplomatic move, I don't know how good it'll work, because I don't know what else. We've got one goal with North Korea, and that's for them to give up their nukes. And this isn't going to happen. Little Kim isn't going to have a change of heart and just say, all right, I'm going to get rid of them all. So where's that leave it? And like this, came out, the USS Wasp is heading there now. And it carries a F-35B Lightning II capable ship. It's deploying as a rapid response capable asset to support security and stability in the region. It's heading for North Korea's waters too right now.
Imagine that.
And these, like I said, this can carry F-35s.
How big is the naval armory that China has? How big is their navy? Has it grown greatly since all this rhetoric, over the years, or have they been laying back on it? Because at one time, China was the biggest navy in the world. China
has got one carrier already. They just they're getting ready to commission one that they built themselves, brand new here. I think they might be doing sea trials already, so they got like 2 carriers. They're talking about building another one. They've got those islands in the South China Sea all militarized now with some of their best equipment. And so we're only going to be able to get so close to China. The only way is through North Korea, but sea-wise, man, they've got the South China Sea pretty well taken care of.
Well, that's why it's so strategic to take out North Korea so they can have that inland attack.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be our ground route. We can move tanks up to the Yellow River, which is right on the southern border of China, between China and North Korea. If we could get through north and move our tanks right up to there, there'd only be a river separating us from China there.
When the southern part of North Korea right into Russia.
Yep, then you got part of Russia's got 24, 28 mile border with North Korea. So it's a very strategic area, North Korea. It isn't just about nukes. That's the excuse. It's about being able to move land assets up closer to China and Russia.
Why wouldn't they just nuke the hell out of it and move robotics in there and move inland, You know, I mean, if I was going to do this, you know, with a mindset of really doing some conquering, you don't have to worry about robots and fallout area. You just move them in and run them rock and roll, and then the drones. That'd be a hell of a battle. You know, I mean, they've got some sophisticated stuff out there right now.
Yeah, we just moved in what they call our Gray Wolf drones. Where we just moved into was it South Base in South Korea, and they're our best attack drones there are that we've got. We just moved in 12 of them. We're moving into South Korea right now. And that's how I think this will start out with North Korea. It won't start out with like jets, you know, airstrikes from jets. We're going to try to fly drones over and do strategic strikes with them first. This is going to be,
we'll hit their known military installations right off the bat.
This is going to be a very technically advanced war for us, especially. We're going to roll everything out, man.
Yeah, because that would be the way to do it, because you would want to be able to move in with your aircraft. You already got your aircraft carriers there. Just take your aircraft off the aircraft carriers.
Well, you know, it's like this here. This is what came out yesterday. It says North Korea war would kill 10,000 U.S. troops within days. It says a war with North Korea could result in about 10,000 American combat-related casualties in the first few days alone, according to U.S. military planners. It says a classified military exercise last week attended by the Army Chief of Staff General Mark Milley and Head of Special Operations Command Tony Thomas tested hypothetical scenarios of how U.S. troops would mobilize and strike if ordered to into a potential war. This is the tabletop exercise held over a few days in Hawaii, thrashed out the challenges that could hamper U.S. assault on North Korea's sizable military. It says it determined that U.S. casualties could be amplified by the Pentagon's limited ability to evacuate injured troops daily, and by the possibility that Pyongyang could retaliate with chemical weapons. It says civilian casualties would far outweigh the initial toll on U.S. troops. It could potentially reach hundreds of thousands, commanders were told. It says while the U.S. stations about 28,500 troops in South Korea, it says a city of about 24 million lies within range of the formidable firepower of North Korea's artillery station along the border. It says the potential human cost of any war so high that at one point in the exercise, General Milley remarked that the brutality of this will be beyond the experience of any living soldier. It says Pentagon chiefs caution that the planning session did not mean that a decision has been made to go to war with the intention of curbing Pyongyang's nuclear ambitions. And then it says the unpredictable situation has sparked fears among U.S. military leaders of a ladder of escalation where a stray incident could come a military crisis to spiral out of control. It says Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has said a war with North Korea would be catastrophic, but has reportedly ordered top Pentagon officials to be ready for any possible military action. It says among plans discussed last week was the redeployment of large numbers of surveillance aircraft from the Middle East and Africa to the Pacific to support ground troops. It says planners also looked at how American forces stationed in Japan and South Korea would be involved. So they're talking about flying in planes already from the Middle East and getting them stationed over there. They need more jets, just like Vaughn was talking. So they're flying in the jets now from Africa. They're flying in jets from the Middle East, all heading to Asia right now.
Yeah, they're going to be coming in from Saudi Arabia. We just took how many jets to Saudi Arabia? We're going to be using this stuff. This campaign is going to be, we already know they got a hell of a lot of chemical weapons. We do not want to involve our troops with chemical weapons. Therefore, we're losing a lot of casualties. So we have to use some kind of a robotic drone attack system on the first wave. And the second wave is then we have to come in from behind and disable a lot of the activity. Once Kim is taken out and his generals have been disarmed, the military will fall quick. It's just what's going to come from China we have to be concerned with, and then the backlash from Russia, because Russia is going to move on Europe as soon as we hit North Korea. China is going to be moving on Europe, I guarantee you, and China is going to be making a move on Japan, Taiwan, anybody they can hit in the South Pacific or the South part there, and it's going to be one hell of a war. Israel is going to be saying, "When do I get to play?" So they're going to go to war with Iran. And, this is going to be quite interesting.
That's it, Vaughn. Netanyahu is meeting with Trump tomorrow. in D.C. And he's talking to Trump, and he's giving a big, I guess, war speech at APEC tomorrow night, or is on either some coming up this week, because APEC started their big thing, and that's the largest Jewish commission in the United States that backs all of our politicians, and Netanyahu comes out there every year to give a big speech at the end, and he's coming out this time. They say his speech is going to be consisting of attacking Iran.
Can you still hear me on here?
Yep. I'm just making sure that the stream's still running too, because they're still smacking my frames.
Well, no, Skype just popped up, and I'm sitting here, and it says microphone muted.
Oh,
and that just popped out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay. I did an update about an hour and a half before the show, and I don't understand why this is doing this. Yeah, so, okay, as long as you can hear me.
They're messing, they're probably going to mess with Vaughn here in a minute, and they'll mess with Dave too. So, I mean, they're in the stream, so can't stop it. Sorry.
Yeah, within the hour before you came on, I went in, I did my tests, I did everything, got it all laid out, and I came back, and you couldn't hear me. And I'm like, I don't understand. Just don't get it. It's all the mutes were off. The updates were done, and you couldn't hear me. I had to shut down completely and reboot, and then you could hear me, and I didn't change a single setting. I don't understand.
That's the same thing that's going on here. I haven't done anything on my end. I'm only running the frame rates at 30 frames per second, and it's a 720p stream that I'm running. It's the exact same thing I do every single show. And they're saying for whatever reason that they're not receiving enough bit rate to push the stream live, so it's going to buffer. But now it's healthy. Everything's good. Right back to normal.
Has anybody located the 44,000 troops that are supposed to be missing, Dave? We need to take a strategic look of just how many troops we have infiltrated throughout the world, and if they're in motion to make this strike, because they're all going to be used. Anybody that's sitting in a base right now that thinks that they're kicking back and having a good time, they're getting ready to go hot. And when they do, it's all going to go crazy.
Well, China also came out today and threatened us with war over Taiwan, because our Congress just passed a bill to become buddies with Taiwan. China came unglued when they heard this today. They threatened us with war. They threatened Taiwan with war. That was their exact words. We will go to war over this, America, if you pass this bill all the way through.
Well, I got that from Ray Chang, that they're concerned in Taiwan about China moving on them.
Yeah.
They're doing everything they can to foment this final conflict.
We're pushing Russia.
They want it. They want it.
Well, we're pushing Russia on one end, and we're pushing China on the other. And this trade war now that Trump just unleashed isn't sitting pretty with even our allies right now.
What are they talking about in chat about the 44,000 missing people? What?
I don't know.
Yeah, we had 44,000 missing troops.
Where?
They can account for 44,000 missing troops.
Where?
The Pentagon. Somewhere in the world.
Really?
Yeah, they're MIA. Well, they say they're MIA, Jim. Okay? Are they hunkered down special troops somewhere?
Right here inside our borders, maybe?
There you go. There you go. I'll be right back.
Hurry back. Miss you already. Oh, fuck.
This came out yesterday, too. Lindsey Graham, this is what he said. This was all over the news. He said war with North Korea would be worth it in the long run.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's Madeleine Albright all over again.
Yeah, it says Senator Lindsey Graham said this week that a war with North Korea would be worth it in the long term.
Let's go kill another million.
Huh?
Let's go kill another million.
It says Graham made the comments in an interview with CNN. He says all the damage that would come from a war would be worth it in terms of long-term stability and national security, the senator told CNN. It says Graham's remarks come amid reports that the U.S. is prepared for the possibility of a military strike against North Korea.
Well, this is why Obama's making his move for the UN, because see, what will happen is once you unstabilize China, Russia, and the rest of these countries that are being pinpointed, then you'll have an instability in the world. The only way you can regroup it and bring it back together will be under a UN sanction, and the UN will totally control this country and other countries under the flag of the UN.
Yep.
People don't understand what's really going on here.
Well, the flag we've been flying in this country for the last 100+ years is our battle flag. So, you know, the stars and bars is not the fucking flag that we fly. Everybody, the horizontal stars and stripes, that's our battle flag. Our flag of peace has the stripes going vertical. Go look it up if you don't believe me.
For the last year, hasn't the internet been totally under UN control? Everything on the internet is under the UN control. And that's why.
Well, I don't know about UN control, but we don't have control of it in the U.S. anymore.
Right.
Yeah, everybody getting assigned their web addresses and all that. Obama sold all that shit off. All right, David, jump back in here.
All right, this came out today from North Korea. It says North Korea warns of dark clouds of war if USA carries out post-Olympic drills with the South. It says North Korea has warned U.S. President Donald Trump of a dark cloud of war, and it will counter the United States plans for joint military drills with South Korea. And it says North Korea released its fury against Mr. Trump and accused the U.S. of aiming to aggravate the situation in the Korean Peninsula at any cost. And it says the U.S. should clearly understand this and exercise prudence. You know, so much for the Olympics bringing peace.
I'm honestly, honest to God, man, I have to tell you something. I didn't watch any of the Olympics, but I am shocked that nothing happened there. I really, really am shocked. I thought something was going to happen there. Little bomb going off, somebody blowing up a fucking trash can, protests, something. I thought something was going to go down, and nothing did. I'm blown away at that.
Well, they're on needles and pins. They don't want the war to start, but they knew if they did something like that, it would be instant. I mean, there would be no question. It'd be instant.
Well, they come out and said again, says U.S. military drills harm reconciliation with North Korea. And like I said, while this is going on, South Korea is sending a guy there. I think he just got there now, in North Korea. And I guess his job is going to try to get to see where North Korea is with having talks with us. And like I said, I think it'll be a miracle if we sit down and talk to them, as long as we keep saying they have to give up their nukes.
Why don't we just send them up on Twitter, man? Just put little Kim on Twitter, and him and Trump can tweet back and forth and, send dick pic to each other and whatever. I guess you got to do that on Instagram or something. I don't know. Whatever.
I think that's just rhetoric that they're even considering talking to Kim, because I think they're past that. Like he said, I'm putting the second phase of sanctions on them, and if this doesn't do the surrender of the nukes, then we're done. So I don't believe there's any other avenue that's going to be open to little Kim, other than the fact they're going to get blown off the map.
Well, that's it.
And I hate to say this, because I really, it worries me that so many lives are going to be lost, just for the simple fact of this power pull and the man that's in office and the statement he made, we're not going to lose anymore, we're going to win. So he's going to be all out with everything in his power. And he's already got Congress on his side, because he sat there and played titty-catty with him. He doesn't
see the big picture, man. He doesn't see the big picture, dude. Look, the first time something fucks up and China doesn't like what they see going on down there in the Korean Peninsula with all our bombs falling all over the fucking place, they're going to step in. And then when they step in, Russia's going to step in. And then when Russia steps in, Iran's going to step in. And it's on. It's Katie bar the door, man. So for all of our fluff and bluff and pumping our chest out and shit and go, we're going to kick your ass, man, we don't have a fucking clue what's coming. Mattis doesn't have a fucking clue what's coming.
Yeah, but do we know what we got to take on? That's the question. I mean, I'm with you, Jim. I understand what you're saying because the world is really, they haven't been sitting idle for these years.
We might do some damage. I'm not saying that we're not going to do some damage because we got some firepower, but it's nothing like what the rest of the world has. We've been blowing our money on all kinds of bullshit stuff that never, unless, I don't know. I mean, I might be completely off the map, right? DARPA might have some insta weapon that they can just annihilate anybody at any time. I don't fucking know, right? But we're getting ready to find out, yo. And we are going to get hard hit here. No matter what anybody in the administration says, no matter what our fucking troops do overseas, this country is going to get its ass handed to it.
Well, this is what we've got to worry about. And this is what I've been telling everybody when we go to war with North Korea. Within days, there's going to be parts of this country's grid go down.
Fuck yeah.
That's a fact.
Yep.
This came out today from Vice News, which is very good with this stuff. And they said North Korea has built a team of hackers that could hit U.S. power grids. It says the West should be concerned, security experts said.
I'm telling you, people, if you live in a big city, you better tighten your boots, man.
In the opening days of North Korea, there's going to be, I'll repeat this, parts of the grid are going down. Not all of it, but parts of it. And it's like they were talking about in that tabletop exercise, they talked about this. They said that people are going to be, there's going to be migration in the United States again. They said people that lose power are going to migrate to cities that do have power still.
Somebody said in chat earlier that AJ, which I can't believe I'm saying anything from Alex Jones, but that he said on his show today that the war was going to break out between the 28th of May and or March and April 4th.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So.
Well, you got to remember they did the Jade Helm exercise. The Jade Helm exercise, what it did, deployed a lot of equipment all over this country.
Yep.
They are predicting, like Dave just said,
and maybe along with that equipment, you think maybe 44,000 troops got deployed along with that equipment?
Yeah.
There's going to be migration.
A lot of generators and a lot of backup. In other words, they're not going to let the people starve. They've already got the.
Are
food.
you kidding me, man?
They got.
Come on, Vaughn. Do you really think they don't give a shit about they got those generators put around so they can power up all their bullshit so they can contact one another. They don't give a fuck about the people, dude. No way. They're going to set rings around these big cities.
To fight. Okay, they're going to have the bodies. All right, unless they're going to go totally.
They're going to make rings around these cities. They're going to make rings around these cities, and if anybody tries to get out, they're going to fucking kill them. That's what they're going to do.
Okay.
They're going to declare martial law. Yeah, well, you just wait. I mean, I don't know. I might be, like I said earlier, I might be completely off the map, dude. I might be completely off the map. That's just what I see coming.
Mind, I haven't heard any talk about any kind of re-updating our nuclear tunnels or tubes or whatever the hell you want to call them, launch pads under the ground. Oh. I've heard nothing about that. I've heard nothing at all. All I could hear about was disarming. If you take some down, we'll take some down. Remember that agreement they had with Russia? Well, I'm just wondering if any of that stuff is feasible, usable. Okay, so therefore, we don't have that kind of a power. So what are we playing with? Are we playing with electronics? And if we're playing with electronics, we're done.
Well,
we're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what they're saying here about these North Korea hackers now, they said the hackers are now starting to look at industrial control systems or get into space, and that is worrisome. And he says what they're trying to do is send malicious emails to different people that are power control plants, and these people hit on this email and it affects their computer.
So Stuxnet?
And we have no idea that it happened.
What was it? Was Obama in office when they laid all that out and showed how it all worked? Remember when they did that, the whole grid and everything? I thought that was really crazy. They did that. They showed it. I mean, they brought it right out there for you to see how to take it down.
But I think, not only will it be North, it's going to be some false flag hackers, too, in this United States that do stuff, too. And
the Discovery Channel showed people how to take the fucking grid down and some of their, hey, come on, man.
North Korea has the hackers to do this, so they've got one of the best hacking armies in the world right now. And they're more lethal online than they are on the battlefield right now. And that's why I tell people, we go to war with North Korea, parts of this country are going to lose power. You know, that those tabletop exercises even backed up what I was saying a while back. And people are going to try to migrate from one city to another. You know, and either the troops can try to bring them in, like Jimmy said, or we're going to have a lot of nomads running from like Detroit to Chicago, or from Chicago to the next biggest city, to St. Louis. You know, imagine 1 million people from one town heading for another town.
I gotta say one thing. Just got to throw it out there. You know, I'm playing Lance tonight, I guess, devil's advocate. If the grid goes down in this country, and we've said it before, and Dave, I know you agree with what I'm getting ready to say, so it's not going to be from any North Korean hacking group. Okay?
Nope, it's going to be inside.
That's right. If there were a North Korean hacking group out there, I'm pretty sure that they would have hacked into some food distribution networks and tried to get some food to their fucking people and shit like that already, which they haven't. So as far as there being some kind of Mark Zuckerberg on the little Kim payroll, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, the North Korean hacking group is ours.
Yeah.
Well, how
I'm on the fence.
in compliance? You know,
I'm on the fence when it comes to these hacking groups. You don't know who's who. You know, are we the Syrian electronic army too? I thought the SEC.
Yeah, I don't believe anything that comes out of my government's mouth, man. When they
They're
tell me
probably
that,
just got different names, you know.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
It's just
Well, the deal is they're not telling Americans this. You know, unless you're looking at the news, you're not going to realize what's going to happen here when we go to war with North Korea. And that's going to be it. We're not going to get hit with a nuke, at least not right away, not from North Korea at least. But what it is North Korea's got, you know, they'll take parts of the grid down. That's part of the plan of this war. And
they'll blame it on North Korea.
Blame it on North Korea.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to tell people now that are paying attention, you're getting ready to lose power in some places over there. You know,
these guys, these guys over there in North Korea that are running around in 55-year-old tanks and shit, and but they've got state-of-the-art electronic equipment, and they can hack through the latest in online security systems and take down our grid. Yep.
Well, what they tried to say was that last week before North Korea's been hacking into all these major Bitcoin banks and taking out Bitcoins.
Really?
So that they drained one Bitcoin bank completely dry. And they said,
who's friends with North Korea? Either India or Pakistan. Who's their buddy?
Let me tell you, Pakistan. Man. If a Bitcoin exchange could be hacked, it's not going to be by any North Korea. They would have been done.
It's going to be by China.
Yeah, well, China, or it's going to be done by a well-known Anon. Or somebody like Kim.com or something like that. It's not going to be by any fucking North Korean.
No. They're still working with a abacus.
Yeah.
Well, let's just look at what's going on right now. We've got something going on right on the surface of our own community called YouTube. They've got 10,000 employees that they've put in position to control and to manipulate
everything we
say. Yeah. So therefore, anybody thinks for one moment who's who and who's on whose side better rethink themselves, because this ain't good for any of us. You know.
So YouTube employees are North Korean.
Stop fucking with Hickok 45, you fuckers.
That's good.
The North Korea is actually NK for no more knowledge.
Yeah.
Bam.
You know, this is what I was talking about here with Taiwan and China. It says Taiwan receives direct threats of war from China over passage of U.S. passage of Travel Act.
That's not good.
It says China's Taiwan Affairs Office warns not to rely on foreigners to build yourselves up, or it will only draw fire upon you. Talking to Taiwan. And it says, after the United States Senate unanimously passed the Taiwan travel bill on Wednesday, February 28th, China has been angered and has sent warnings, as well as stated its dissatisfaction with both Taiwan and the United States. It says in the most recent statement, Taiwan's Affairs Office said the bill was a serious contravention of the One China principle, which is the foundation of U.S.-China ties. It says, we sternly warn Taiwan not to rely on foreigners to build yourselves up, or we will only draw fire upon you. the office spokesperson said in a statement, directly threatening Taiwan and its officials. And so
that's not
China's,
good, dude. That is
China's
not good.
pissed.
Well, let's
That
look
and
at what Dave just said. Dave just said that that China is pissed off at Taiwan. What just happened in Taiwan? They had them multiple earthquakes. Okay, first it was offshore, then onshore, and everybody out there, if they've done any research at all, this is conspiracy, my opinion. They have the ability to control some of this shit. Maybe that was a warning to Taiwan that we can level you.
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I mean,
Look at
basically,
Mexico City. Look at what happened in Mexico City when they said something against fucking Netanyahu and Israel. It was shortly after that little meeting that they took on that big earthquake right there in Mexico City. Coincidence? I don't know, guys. I begin to wonder about this shit.
Like I said, DARPA's got technology we don't have any fucking clue about, man. From all the papers that I've read, their technology is 50 years more advanced than anything they're showing us. So all these little robots that you're seeing tethered up and picking up boxes and shit and, jumping around in the woods, that's 50-year-old technology to DARPA.
Well, what about those little bots and them little deals that fly around and zap you in your head? How many would that take to take out an army?
those things are crazy, man.
I saw that one when they dropped them out of the airplanes. Holy crap!
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. If that's a dealio, at least it'll be done fast.
That's like Phantasm,
right? That's what I was just getting ready to say. It's like Phantasm, show,
but yeah.
I mean, there's things out there we don't even. There's our military has stuff out there we don't even know about.
Right.
Fantastic.
A lot of tech stuff, but China
the last
tech army too.
Yeah, over the last 4 years or something, I think I remember talking about it. Over the last 4 years, the Navy has dumped several $1 billion into this railgun technology, and they just scrapped it, according to them.
Yeah,
they just scrapped it after billions of dollars and years of production. They're just going to scrap it.
Wow.
Yeah, they said they're going to buy 50 of them from somebody else now.
Really?
Yep.
They rolled back to the AK-47.
Hey, man, we buy all of our fucking rocket engines that NASA uses if they send rockets up from Russia, So, I don't know. Elon Musk and his Merlins, I guess, aren't good enough. Or he gets enough money from us anyway. We keep that car company afloat. They haven't turned a profit yet. Tesla hasn't turned a profit yet. It's provided for by us. So anybody that thinks that Elon Musk is this genius, do some reading.
Yeah, but when the highways are null and gone from all the traffic, that's all you're going to have is these driverless cars running down the damn freeways and shit going from point A to point B.
Oh, that's another reason that I'm glad I live in the middle of the woods. I won't be around any driverless cars when they turn them loose. You think that shit's jumping the curbs and running over people now with terrorists behind the wheels? Wait till they turn them over to the fucking computers.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have busloads of children falling off cliffs and shit.
Yep.
Because the PMG said because the railgun proved flat Earth and they couldn't have that. Oh, Ricky had a good one earlier too. Ricky said, "Just keep paying your taxes and watching American Idol. Everything will be fine."
Yeah, how big is the fleet of submarines that the Russians have? I understand that's quite a fleet.
Say that again, Vaughn.
The fleet of submarines that Russia has.
Yeah,
they have a hell of a fleet of submarines.
Yep. They do.
And they're in the Atlantic and Pacific right now, have been for a long, long time.
They're jets.
Go ahead. It got brought up today that we've got 3 of our biggest attack subs right now in 3 different spots in Japan just waiting to go.
Really?
Yep.
Well, Japanese are pretty smart. They had the Yakasaki, or whatever the hell it was, the biggest warship right after the German ship. And that was a hell of a ship to take out. The British and the the United States had a hell of a time taking that ship out.
All right,
It was gigantic.
This just came out just now. It says U.S. carrier group headed to South China Sea waters claimed by China. It says a U.S. aircraft carrier group is preparing to sail through the contested South China Sea later this month. And observers expect an angry Beijing to register its opposition and quicken its militarization of small islands in the region. It said the group of ships led by the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier, guided missile USS Michael Murphy, is sailing the South China Sea after a mid-February port call in Manila, where some of the 5,500 crew members offered humanitarian aid. And it says the U.S. Navy statement says the group came for promoting freedom of the seas and enhancing regional security, as well as working with allies in the region. It says that's not the message likely to be received by Beijing, which regards about 90% of the 3.5 million kilometer waterways as its own. And so what we're doing here is we're selling a carrier through those islands, direct poke to China after China comes out and threatens us with war over Taiwan. And I'll say this:
flicking boogers at each
other.
War
breaks out with North Korea and it involves China. China will jump in. That's a given.
Oh yeah,
we're going to have a massive naval battle in the South China Sea. I've been saying this for years. When this war comes, massive naval battle in the South China Sea.
Any of you boat steering individuals out there that are running this flotilla that's getting ready to go over to the South China Sea and fuck around in the Senkakus. I think that's the Senkaku Islands that they're building up over there. Any of you guys that are running our boats, when you're behind the wheel, you pay attention. You pay real close attention. Don't be running into any freighters. Don't be running into any barges. Don't be running into any civilian vessels. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys got a habit of doing that shit over there in the Pacific for some reason. I don't know why, but, you know, we're broke over here, right? So be thankful that we're giving you the fuel to go fuck off and flick your boogers at China, but just don't damage the boats, okay? They're expensive, and we don't have the money to fix them. Unless the feds.
Hey, I want to start a PayPal, guys. I need a 100-foot cruiser and a bunch of really cool 900 those what's called cameras by Nike or whatever the hell it is. I want to go film this battle in the sea, man. I think that would be the greatest damn promotion for YouTube, wouldn't it? All this shit just getting blown to hell and back. That would be beautiful. Oh.
You know, this was a big story too that came out last night. This is from Trump now, directly from him. He says U.S. will not tolerate the atrocities of the Assad regime. And he says the White House statement puts Russia on notice over eastern Ghouta. It says with the reported death toll in eastern Ghouta exceeding 670 since the air bombardment started on February 13th, the U.S. administration upped the ante on Friday, threatening the Assad regime that it will not tolerate the atrocities and calling on Russia to immediately uphold a ceasefire all over Syria. It says the White House, following Donald Trump calls to Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel, French President Emmanuel Macron, issued a statement on Friday that stresses the urgency of the situation in Syria. It says the leaders agreed that the Syrian regime and its Russian and Iranian supporters should immediately and fully implement United Nations Security Council Resolution 2401, calling for an immediate ceasefire across Syria. It addressed Moscow directly, calling for a halt of its bombing in eastern Ghouta and to pressure the Assad regime to halt offensive operations against civilian areas and to hold Syria accountable for the deteriorating human rights conditions caused in part by the Assad regime's continual use of chemical weapons, attacks on civilians, and blocking of humanitarian aid. This is in a clear escalation in tone. The White House said the United States will not tolerate the atrocities of the Assad regime. This is also responding to Russian President Vladimir Putin's comments about his new arsenal on Thursday. The three leaders shared their serious concerns over Putin's recent statements on nuclear weapons development, which they agreed detracted from productive discussion of a range of issues between Russia and the West. It says, Mr. Trump's audience is not Assad but Putin, said Nicholas Harris, a fellow who studies Syria at the Center for New American Security. It says the U.S. president is putting Russia on notice. It says he is Trump is
better and better.
I'm sorry, man. I can't hold myself. Sorry.
It says Trump is reacting vicariously to the footage coming out of eastern Ghouta of starving children, hospitals being blasted to rubble, and the chemical weapons being used against civilians. It says if no ceasefire is implemented
by the rebels that we arm and fund. You know, this is like the Russian bullshit with them fucking fixing the election. Come on, man. It's already been proven that all of that is entirely bullshit. Assad has not bombed any of his fucking own people with any nerve gas or anything. It's all been proven bullshit, man. It's all bullshit.
Well, they went on to say here. It says,
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not jumping on you. I'm just saying that, you know, anything that comes out of our media is total
scenario
horseshit.
They're playing now.
Yeah, yeah. And it's old hat. Go ahead.
And it says, asked about the White House options today, the bombardment of eastern Ghouta continues. And Trump says that Obama was roundly criticized for allowing Aleppo to become a pulverized graveyard. And so Trump looks to show that he is not Obama. It says if no ceasefire.
No, Obama bombed the fuck out of Damascus, right? They wouldn't. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry. I'll shut up now.
If no ceasefire is implemented, and if Mr. Trump wants to be tougher than his predecessor on Syria, then the option of punitive U.S. military strikes is on the table, equal to or greater than the one used last year. So while we're going after Taiwan and China and North Korea and we're on the other side starting it now with Russia and Syria. And like we talked at the beginning of the show, Russia's been flying its most advanced jets out there now. They showed off their 3 new nuclear weapons yesterday.
Look at my penis. Sorry.
You know, well, the deal is Putin's not fucking around. I don't like the man, but when he starts making propaganda
and that's why
videos.
Earlier in the article, when you were talking about all those people making comments about Putin's nuclear arsenal and him making all the threats, because when he showed it off, they went, oh, shit.
And the deal
Does everybody realize that most of the biblical main ladies came from Damascus, of Syria, in the Bible? Do they not realize how this is going to lay with the Lord? Man, this shit ain't going to be good, guys.
Hey, man, it's all prophesied already. It's going to happen whether we like it or not.
I know. That's why I say this shit ain't going to be good for a whole bunch of people that think they're on top of their game.
And I don't know how I'm going to drive this. I have some information that I have been made privy to over the last few days, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. So it's kind of like a please stand by thing for all y'all listening to me, because I have no idea how I'm going to bring this to you folks. I really don't. I think I'm going to do it in drips and drabs and see what kind of reaction I get from some of you, because it is a game changer. The information, it's right in front of your face too, man. It's right in front of your face too, but okay, never mind. I hate to get you people on, just drop that like that and then walk away from it but just give me a little while. I'll make some more statements on it on Wednesday's show, and then it's going to come out in drips and drabs. Okay, I got to bounce it off a couple of you.
Spam is health food, right? I knew it. Everybody
Shut up.
Got spam. Oh, I'm sorry. I just can't let it wait till Wednesday.
Oh fuck. I'm going to bounce it off a couple of you though and see what kind of reaction I get, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, carry on, y'all.
What else here? Turkey kills over 50 Syrian pro-government fighters in 1 week. Turkey's going after Assad's troops now in northern Syria. He's no longer just going after Kurds. He's bombing Assad's forces now. And I knew that's a big thing, too, with Turkey's doing. Plus, they're cutting off the water to the Euphrates. They're slowing it way down. They're not turning it completely off, but they're slowing it way down, and that is biblical.
Yeah, the tanks are going to come across there from Russia.
Yep.
People got to realize that Turkey, that's where the big kings came and took over Israel and drove the Templars completely out and defeated them because of the head Templar thought he could take them head on, and it was a bad decision. I mean, there's so much biblical stuff that's being repeated here that just it'll blow your mind. Okay, it's just crazy.
The whole fucking world is. It is. It's upside down. We've been saying that for a long time, though. If Lance was here, he'd tell you. Me and he and I, since we started on the show together, because I did like a couple of shows on the First Network by myself, and they really sucked. And then finally Lance came on with me, and I had somebody to bounce shit off of, and it was a lot better. You know, it was like a conversation instead of me just looking at the camera going, blah, 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 blah. You know, that didn't work. I didn't like doing that. So, yeah. But since the first couple of shows on that original network, we've been saying everything is upside down, man. Why don't people see this, man? The justice system doesn't want anything to do with bringing justice to the people. It's all about who's got the fucking money and who's got the connections and shit like that. The health system wants you all sick so that they can keep making money off your fucking insurance companies and blah, blah, blah. And then when you run out of insurance, they give you 6 weeks to live and you die. You know, it's everything. It's all upside down. It's all upside down. The government doesn't work for the people. They work for themselves. They don't give a shit about you.
It's going to be when Iran gets attacked by Israel, Islam is going to rise up. It's going to shut down all the gas stations in this country. It's going to come alive here in this country. It's going to come alive in Europe. Do you realize how many Muslims have been spread across Europe and America again? I mean, at one time, the Muslims owned Europe. Okay, they were driven out by the Northerns. You know,
this is all
the
in the books, man. This is all in the book.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking repeat. I mean, this is a total repeat. They've already infiltrated us. Thank you, Obama, and the rest of you clowns, Clinton, and the rest of you trading assholes. Now they're here, and if this stuff goes wrong, one moment the jihad will be instant. I guarantee you, these people will not turn against what they believe. They get on their knees and on their face every day and pray to their God. It's just, wait a minute, friends. Wake up. Smell the roses. We are in deep shit, and I don't know how this is going to play, but I do know who wins.
Well, this is big, too. This came out today, and this is from Iran. But everybody's just going off on us today. Iran came out today and said to U.S., surrender your nukes, and then we'll talk missiles.
They just dropped the dollar, too. They don't. They do and nothing foreign currency. Yeah, they don't do anything but the dollar anymore. So, just another.
It says Tehran will consider negotiating over its ballistic missiles only after the U.S. and Europe dismantled their nukes. A top Iranian official said Iran has repeatedly dismissed Western calls to disarm as unreasonable. It says the condition for negotiating Iran's missiles is the destruction of the nuclear weapons and long-range missiles of the United States and Europe, Iranian Armed Forces spokesman said today. And it's so, Trump's been saying that he's going to get out of this deal with six-party deal and all this, and we want them to get rid of their long-range missiles and stuff, and Iran's like, screw you, you get rid of your nukes. How about that?
It ain't going to be like backing out of the Paris Accord. Backing out of the six-party talks. It's all just talk, though, right? I mean, they have talks all the time. Talk. Does anything ever get done? No. We've been having talks about North Korea, for 50 fucking plus years, man. Almost 60 years now. Has anything ever changed? No.
Well, we got the crazy
not until you have strongly worded letters.
Well,
that gets that shit done.
You've never had a president like Trump that's willing to go for it either.
You just gotta show off your button.
I'll say that about Trump. He's willing to actually go for it, and he's going to get a lot of us killed, unfortunately.
Well, look, man, I hate to burst your bubble, dude, but Trump not doing anything that he's not told to do.
Kissinger's telling him what to do.
Yeah, exactly. The banks want it done now because they're getting ready to drop the fucking other shoe and send this whole shit and thing into a tailspin, and they need this world war to blame it on. It's just like the past, man. There's nothing new under the sun.
Well, this trade war Trump just announced yesterday was part of it.
Look back at World War II. What did it start with? Currency wars.
That's why England allowed all the Muslims in there, because when England turned against the EU and dropped out of the EU, wasn't that what it was? The EU they dropped out of? Well, they knew that the bankers said, no, this shit ain't going to happen. Let's bring all the Muslims in. We will teach these people. We'll have them eliminated, and we will have control, because the people that will be here will be under our control. That's why half of the damn English, which JR was here, have accepted the Sharia law. Okay? Hello? It's happening faster than we hear.
You know, this was another red line crossed in Putin's eyes yesterday. It says U.S. steps up lethal aid to Ukraine, sells 210 anti-tank missiles to the Ukrainian military.
Whoops.
It says the Trump administration told Congress on Thursday that it plans to sell 210 anti-tank missiles to help it defend its territory from Russia, in a major escalation of U.S. lethal assistance to Ukraine's military. This is a long-awaited move which lawmakers of both parties have been urging for years, deepens America's involvement in the military conflict and may further strain relations with Moscow. It came the same day that Russian President Vladimir Putin announced his country has developed new nuclear weapons he claims can't be intercepted by an enemy. And that's one thing Trump said, is three new nukes he's come out with can blow through our missile defense undetected. That was one thing he did say yesterday. It says the $47 billion sale includes the 210 American-made Javelin missiles along with 37 command launch units. In anticipation of the sale, the U.S. has already started training Ukraine's forces on how to use them. The missiles will come from existing U.S. Army stockpiles, probably those that are already stationed in Europe, speeding up the process for transferring them to Ukraine's military. It says Ukraine has long sought to boost its defense against Russian-backed separatists armed with tanks that have rolled through eastern Ukraine during violence that has killed more than 10,000 since 2014. It says previously the U.S. has provided Ukraine with support equipment and training and has let private companies sell some small arms like rifles.
10,000? That's small fries compared to what we did in Iraq, man.
Yep.
We're 1.5 mil.
Yeah, this is too. That's where. But the deal is this: is we just crossed Putin's shit line.
Oh yeah,
and this is another reason why he was showing off his nukes.
Well, he ain't happy about all them fucking people in Poland. Yeah, I mean, we got them. We're trying to surround them. We're trying to surround them with 400 plus anti-missile batteries or so.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
yep.
That. Yeah.
400 plus anti-missile batteries completely rope Russia in.
Yep. Go ahead, keep going, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break your.
And I mean, this all ties together with North Korea, Iran, Syria, Israel. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody's ready to go.
I ain't.
Well, the regular person is, but military-wise, everybody's stationed where they want to be and got what they want, you know. And so, but selling these anti-tank missiles was a no-no to Putin, man. This was a no-no because Ukraine just was about a month ago signed a bill saying that they're going to take eastern Ukraine back by any means possible.
Any means possible.
And so this is part of the deal, these anti-tank missiles.
All they got to do is start a referendum because I guarantee you half that country don't want to be Ukrainian anymore either. They want to be Russian.
You know what's going to happen?
It was just like Crimea. Crimea was like, we can be Russian again? Fucking A, man. Give me that paper.
Well, the question is, what's going to happen when these rebel tanks start getting blown up? What's Russia going to do?
Hey, I'm honestly surprised that they haven't done anything about all the Russian rebels that got their asses handed to them in Syria. You know,
I think that's another reason why Putin came out with his nukes yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep egging him, and like you said earlier, man, just keep poking him in the chest. And one of these days,
we're doing the same with China.
They're going to throw a right cross.
Like I said, this war is going to go globally. This will be a true definition of a world war.
Well, that's I was saying that earlier, man. Anything that happens in North Korea is not just going to sit in North Korea. Mattis is lying to himself, and he knows that. He's just, it's all fluff. It's all words. It's all bullshit. You know? They're told, they're scripted out to say what they're going to say, and they go out there and they say it, whether they believe it or not. And that makes you look even dumber, Mr. Mattis. I'm not going to call you general because you're a douche. But that's just my opinion. Who the fuck am I, right? John Q. Public, taxpayer, whatever. Not really. I don't pay taxes.
Well, like I said, they're going to keep us occupied when this war breaks out here. They're going to keep us occupied over here with grids going down. You know, another
and
little
people dying in the streets,
maybe some false flag terror attacks and some more shootings.
No food, no grocery stores, no fuel. That'll keep people occupied for a while.
Mm-hmm. You talk about mass shootings, you're going to start seeing some mass shootings if it goes the way they want it to go, man.
Yep.
People are just going to start blowing each other away.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying that for gun control facts. I'm just saying people are going to start blowing each other away.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're going to feel that they don't have any way out, and they're going to go out their own way. And you're right. In the United States, it seems that the only way to go out is in a glorious fashion, and that's to harm other people, and it's ridiculous. I mean, us on this side of it, it's basically suck it up, pull as far back away from the population, and let them eat themselves alive.
Exactly.
Well, we got more guns than any other nation, and civilians have more guns than any other nation in the world in America, and that's what people don't realize when it comes to guns. Yeah, Second Amendment, I love it, I'm for it. It is what it is, but the deal is when society breaks down over here, when grids start going down in bigger cities and people start traversing around, these guns are going to hit the streets hard. People are just going to start blasting each other. And then that's what Americans don't seem to understand. Yeah, these guns are great. They're against the government, whatever. When society breaks down, we're going to use them on ourselves.
That's right.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
This is why the government hasn't taken guns from this nation.
Right, because that's exactly what they want to happen.
They want us to have these guns.
Yes.
That's why they drop them off. That's why they have covert operations to drop off crates of weapons in South Side Chicago.
Yeah,
there's all kinds of
that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, there's all kinds of video proving it, and there's gang members on live TV saying it. Where do you
think the Bloods and the Crips get all their guns?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why Trump turned up the flame. He said, "We'll take the guns first, and then we'll prosecute or handle it." In other words, what he's telling people is, get ready because we're going to do this, okay? And he really didn't break it down any further. The statement, what it did was just to set fire to the people that do have weapons. Because you realize the first one they banned criminalizes every American in this country, all right? Mm-hmm. Anyone that you're talking about criminalizes the ones in America, which is a lot of them have these weapons, will make you a criminal. How long is that going to hold? Okay, so they're already promoting a civil war in this country. I hate to say it that way.
Race war, religious
They've been trying.
war.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for years on this channel. They've been trying to get this race war started in this country for years, man, all the way back to Trayvon Martin.
Decades.
Yeah,
decades.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to take it back that far, but I'm just talking about in recent history. We've been seeing it all. The shit that happened up in Missouri. That's all. Yeah. So whatever, go ahead. They want the blacks to kill the whites. They want the whites to kill the Mexicans. They want the Mexicans to kill the blacks.
That whole separation thing we've been talking about for a long time is you create this discontent between people just out of the race, the color, the economics, the sex, the haves, the have-nots. I mean, all these different little parcels, and then you pull the pin and let everybody blow each other up, and then guess what? There's not very much left for the elites to have to deal with because everybody killed each other.
Right. And now that Trump's in office, they got the trumpets versus the Antifa fuckos. So there you go. It's 50-50, man. Half this country's going to try to kill the other half.
Yep.
What was that? Pike that made that prediction? The next war.
Yeah.
Because
they wrote the fucking script, man. They've been following it for years. They've been following it for decades. Yeah, they wrote the fucking script. That's what I'm saying. When we said it at the beginning of the show, too. They are going to have this war. There is nothing we can do about it. You can pray. You can do. Yep. There's nothing that's going to stop this. Nothing.
Well, like I said, there'll be a world war, but then there'll be a war here in the United States that no one's ever seen in this world. We'll have our own world war in our borders.
Yeah, it's going to be civil unrest, period. And they're going to declare martial law, like I was talking about earlier, and then they'll ring the large cities with troops and probably UN troops and whatever the fuck they can get their hands on, and then they'll just start eliminating people because they will be running for their lives for lack of water and food. And as soon as you cross that imaginary boundary that the government sets up, bang, you're dead.
You're going to be running from the violence, too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
because the gangs own the cities,
words.
man. Even though you might not think it, the gangs own the cities. I don't give a shit where you're at. I don't give a. It could be fucking Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York. It doesn't matter. The gangs own the cities.
That's the sub-government right there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why the Bloods and Crips existed for so long in Los Angeles, you know.
Oh, it's MS-13 too, man. They're everywhere, man.
Oh, those guys are savages too, man.
Yep.
They're the ones that'll behead you.
Yeah, because it's, you know, they're Mexican cartel.
Yeah, that's what they are. And, you know, we have civil unrest here. The cartels that are already here from Mexico, there's going to be even more just pour across our border.
Tommy said something pretty good in the chat right now. It's the same as Hillary would have done. That's exactly what's going on, yo. And I'm glad somebody in chat sees it. I'm sure more of you do than anything. All they did, they pacified this country for a year with Donald Trump. They checked out the scene to see how many people they could. Look at all these Q fuckos following this Q guy. Come on, man. This it's just laughable. That guy's been out here. I said this on the last show too, I think. He's been out here since November dropping his fucking knowledge or whatever, and nothing's changed. Not a fucking thing has changed. Nobody's gone to jail. Nobody's been arrested. No, Seth Rich is still dead, and nobody fucking whatever. Cue my ass.
I agree with that, man. Someone just messing around.
Yep.
That's a great name for a pool hall, by the way. That's funny.
Cue my ass.
Cue my ass.
So what do you think about
Cue my ass bar and grill?
Right. What do you think about that dude that went in front of the White House there in the north yard and north fence and shot himself in the head?
I didn't hear about that one. I heard about the lady that ran through the gate or whatever and got arrested, but I didn't hear about that dude.
Yeah, that was today. This dude went up to the north fence of the White House, pulled out a gun, fired a couple shots just straight in the air, and then turned the gun and shot himself straight in the head.
Wow, he'd had enough.
Man.
You know, and the deal is we're getting the crazies, man. They're coming out. But, you know.
What was it? Did they identify the dumbass yet or anything?
No, not yet.
Man,
dude, I'm going to be sitting on the top of the mountain with
we couldn't be lucky enough for it to be
and grain crackers and just sitting there watching this go off.
we couldn't be lucky enough for it to be John Podesta or somebody. Whatever. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. I've been busy all day today though. I've been on my hands and knees scrubbing my floors.
They locked down
shit.
big time when those gunshots went off, man. DC was locked down.
Was Trump even in the White House?
No, he's in Florida, the golf course.
Playing golf.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Cold up there, man. He went down when it's warm.
They got a nor'easter, man. He didn't want to hang around for that shit, right?
Man, that nor'easter's brutal, man. Holy shit. I've seen some videos out of that place.
Hey. That's what they get for geoengineering.
Hurricane.
That's what they get for geoengineering shit. You know, can't predict it now. It's got weather phenomena, you know. Like around here, it was 70, almost 80 degrees, touching 80 degrees for a couple of days. And then the next day it was 50 and back into the 20s at night. And it's crazy.
Well, it's weird is we've got a massive snowstorm getting ready to hit us tomorrow night, man. And this is the biggest one they've seen in a long time. They're talking parts of North Dakota are supposed to get over 17 inches of snow out of this storm.
Fuck.
We could so use that here big time.
And they said we're supposed to get about 7 here, and it's supposed to be that heavy, wet snow too.
Be careful what you wish for, Charlie. Be careful what you wish for, Charlie.
We are so low on our snowpack this year. We are going to be in bad shape, and there's going to be crazy forest fires, dude. And that is.
They were saying that shit a couple weeks ago in California too, and then they got 7 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada. So
yeah, they don't know how to deal with it. We do.
Well, I'm just saying it might head your way, so just be careful what you wish for, man.
Bring it.
Bring it? Okay.
We need it. We need
look up and say
right
bring
now,
it.
To bring us up to about 100%, we would need at least 10 to 12 feet right now.
Whew. That'd be a lot of shoveling, man.
That's yeah, that is.
That'd be roof crushing snow.
Yep.
Be careful.
Snow management.
Oh, hell. How much time we got left? 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
What else we got?
Awesome.
What else we got to bounce off each other?
anybody got any stats on how many channels got dropped here in this purge? I would really be curious. I know I've watched my feed, and a lot of people I used to see are gone. Okay.
Some of them got back. You know, Richie from Boston got his channel down, taken down, and then he actually got a lawyer and contacted them through a lawyer, and like within a day or so, they had it back up and took all his strikes away from him. And but I know a lot of people have been catching flack. They've been catching strikes off videos that are 3 and 4 years old, and yada yada yada. I think We Are Changed have got a couple strikes out of it, but they haven't taken them down yet. A couple of gun channels got taken down.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, if you really want to listen to everybody, I think it's only, maybe a couple of dozen channels, but they were pretty big channels. So
right.
I don't know. We'll see. And then YouTube wanted to blame it on their 10,000 new people that fucked up and didn't read the algorithms correctly and started just annihilating Republican channels for whatever reason. Any conservative that was out there started getting hammers dropped on them. And tried to back off of it, right? But the channels still kept getting strikes. So, I don't know. We'll see how everything pans out. Give them another week and see if they can teach their computer.
Yeah, SS964, we'll discuss that on what we feel about Richie, on how he was able to manipulate from one day to the next and do what he did. That's another discussion. We won't do that here. I've got some insight on that I'm not going to share here publicly.
Yeah, well, whatever. I really don't care. I follow Richie just because some of the things that he says, I like to make comments on down in his comment section, and kind of call him out on some shit that he says that he contradicts himself all the time. But he does have some contacts, and he's got a lot of followers that send him decent information. So that's the only reason that I follow him, because he drops decent information every once in a while.
But no, I'm not saying against Richie. I'm just going to tell you how he was able to do it. Like I said, I'm not going to do it on the air.
Yeah,
there's been something to play for a long time that people, if they were in the know, been around long enough, they'd know how that was played.
Yeah,
it's happened many times years ago.
He's one of those guys that started a channel and then started figuring out that he could play the people that were listening to him into paying for his fucking life, and now they do. So whatever.
Well, we're not talking about you, Richie. I did like that deal he did on the where they had the military on that little island he lives on.
Yep.
And then help that lady. I mean, I got nothing against Richie people, other than the fact I just don't like flim-flam, man. I don't like snake oil sellers and shit. That's me.
I think he's he's just kind of full of himself.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the show and discuss things that need to be discussed other than RFB.
Can I throw in 2 cents on something we talked about earlier about the whole stuff thing? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll make it short because I know I talked about it before. No,
you're good. Don't talk, dude. We got 15 minutes to fill. Go.
Well, the thing that we talk about over and over again is there are the awake people and the not so awake people. And the people that aren't awake are still clamoring for things. And I think those of us that have really sat down and thought through what is going on in the world, it gives us an opportunity to take those things that we don't need anymore in our house, sell them off, take those dollars and put them into our own preps, whether that be food, water, ammunition, whatever it may be, but turn those items, those useless items. I mean, look, for example, if you go back and you look at the World War II in Europe, World War II people that were only able to take the things that were on their back or what they could load up in a cart. Imagine if that was you just for a second and you could only take the most important things, everything else is moot. And if you could downgrade to a point, and it's not a societal thing. It's not like I'm better than you. I don't watch my TV because I'm just that much better. But it's one of those things where you look at your life and you realize that the most important things take up the littlest amount of space, and the things that you hold close, like your heirlooms and whatnot, those are important. Yes, I get it. But
you still can't be worldly.
What? I'm sorry, what?
You still can't be of this world, though. You can't.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You got to get past it.
If you pine things down as tight as you can, not only will you, whether you're retired or still working, your dollars will, for the time being, will stretch a lot further. And your freedom in your mind, in your heart, and in your everyday operation is going to be so. The stress level.
Yes.
You will release that stress level. And I cannot tell you, it took me a long ass time doing what I'm doing to get that stress off my back. And I tell you what, it's a reward. Priceless. It's an absolute reward. Yep. And the thing of it is generate the income and pour it into those things that you need. We all here have been on this earth for a long time. We've acquired a lot of shit. And we we don't need it. We don't need, air quotes, need a lot of that stuff. And if you can just part your way with that to people that feel that they still need stuff, let them have it. Generate that income and turn it into the things that you do need. Your food stores, tools, water filtration systems, whatever those Maslow lower level of the hierarchy pyramid, make sure that you're satisfying that, because that's what it's going to come down to. These people that are living above the board are totally living on a foundation that's collapsing, and they are not going to know how they're going to drink water that's contaminated and shit themselves to death. That's basically what happens when you see any
death by Giardia.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean,
hey, that beats the shit out of death by Bingy Bingy.
Go into those areas where there's a tsunami or a third world country that has a big earthquake. They don't die from the event. They die from the contamination of the water. I mean, be on tap with those things, and sell your shit now, because you have that opportunity. If not, it's just going to become firewood, or it's going to become regrets, because you're like, why the fuck did I keep this? It means nothing, and it could have brought dollars in where I could have made it into food. I'm done.
Well, you realize what you're talking about there. There was, when you talk like that, there was a epidemic of the flu that killed millions of people, and then the tuberculosis killed millions of people. Okay, these are events that happens when the whole structure of mankind just completely falls apart, and you're shitting in the street and drinking the water at the other end of it. It's not good. So you're going to look at dead bodies. You're going to look at all this happening. Who's going to clean this shit up? The garbage man ain't going to come because he ain't there anymore either. So we're talking about, if you're going to travel light and be sensible of what you're trying to hang on to, because
exactly.
the shit you ain't going to need. I know I want my 57 stainless steel revolver because I don't have to clean the son of a bitch. I want my 22 because it's light and I carry a lot of ammunition. I want my machete and I want my military knife.
But you need your water. Water, without the water, none of that means anything.
You just got to get around a place where the water hasn't been totally contaminated. That means you have to remove yourself from the cities and into an open or a forest land or somewhere where water is flowing.
And that's going to be where everybody else is, and that's why it's important to have very, very good filtration systems that you could use water out of a shithole that nobody's going to go to. That's the idea of being stealthy, is going where people don't want to go, being able to filter water out of a stagnant pond that smells like ass, and it may not taste great, but it's going to be safe.
If you can build a fire, you can burn some logs. If you can burn some logs, you can take the coal. You can take the coal.
I agree.
Put it in a clay pot, and then some rock and sand, and pour the filth water to the top and pour it through and filter it. You can drink that shit. Okay.
But I don't disagree with you, Vaughn. But you're also giving away your area. If you are able to go into an area and be able to filter that and move out of an area without leaving a signature, you're doing a better job of concealing your mission, what it is that you're going to. And that's all I'm saying. Are there other ways? Absolutely. There's 100 different ways of doing it. But right now, if you could change shit in your house into dollars to be able to do these things for you, why not build that as part of your kit? That's what I'm getting at, is that there's that exchange of stuff that means nothing to stuff that does mean something. And it doesn't compromise you.
Poor man Gold just wrote in here, PMG. He says, Vaughn, go into any rural field and dig down 42 inches and get water from a farm drainage tile. Okay, basically he's telling you the truth there.
Yeah.
Because it's already filtered through the field and it's in a drain tile, which most drain tiles are made out of clay. And there you go. You know, you've got your fresh water. You'll be able to tell if the water tastes good. If it tastes like
it'll be cleaner. I wouldn't exactly call it fresh.
Right. Well,
you know,
I don't think we have
fresh water. Yeah. Well, I mean, fresh water has to percolate through hundreds of feet of soil and sediment and stuff before it can actually be considered fresh. So, yeah. I mean, running it through a gravity filter, a couple of 5-gallon buckets filled with sand and charcoal and shit like that, it's probably going to save your life, but yeah, it's not. You're not drinking pure mountain spring water straight from the source. You know, that's just not going to happen.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is it's early in the season, and springtime, usually people have a lot of yard sales. Mm-hmm. Now would be the time to go through your house and pull a bunch of shit together and start running that train of getting that shit out, getting the dollars in, and turning them into usable items.
Here's another thing: when you start doing this sale, don't be psychologically attached to the shit that you're trying to sell. Don't try to.
My God,
it's got to be. You're not going to sell it unless you put $5 on it, or $1, or 10 for $1, or you know what I mean. If you got a $250 TV and you're trying to get $200 out of it, you're not going to sell it.
Okay, short story. There was a video I watched, and I wish I could find it again on YouTube. It was great. It was about a 30-minute video, and this guy was in front of a class, and they were talking about minimalism. They're going through the whole series and explaining why it's unhealthy to attach feelings to things and blah, blah, blah. So what he did for about half of this discussion is he took a glass, you know, like you would, if you're a speaker in front of a group of people, you have a glass of water. Okay. So they had another glass. And what he did as part of an example is he explained that this glass that was in front of him was through 6 generations of his family. It was handed down, and he gave a long, long story, and then he drops it and it shatters. And he explained, why would you tie so much emotional depth of who you are to something that is so fragile that means nothing? And you really have to look at that. And part of the example where when I went from that video, I made 2 boxes of things to get rid of that were extremely important to me. One dealt with my mom's stuff, and one it was a box of my childhood stuff. And another video I watched was take pictures of it. The story isn't in the item. The story is in your mind and in your heart. And you can show, like I could show on a picture to Jimmy, hey, let me explain to you what this means to me.
What? I heard my name. What?
You don't, what?
I heard my name. What?
What? What?
Sorry, go ahead.
If I were to explain a story to him about my childhood, about a certain item, I don't need that item anymore. I could take multiple pictures of it and let it go. Let it go. Don't collect the shit.
You can't take it with you anyway, right? You're going to try to make room in the casket?
That's exactly right.
I collect memories.
Subject, Charlie, but one thing you guys got to hang on to, you got to get your hands on some silver coins. We're talking about purifying water. If you have a container is you can drop some silver coins in. That water will be feasible to drink.
I've already got that set up.
Kaleido Silver, if you got a little bottle of Kaleido Silver, you ain't got to worry about what water you're drinking. You just
We got a generator for that, man.
That's right. Put some Kaleido Silver in that water container and let it sit for overnight. You got water for the next fucking day. You know, I mean, this is real. Because there ain't nothing going to live in that's going to be bad for you, because the Kaleido Silver is going to kill it.
My grandmother used to drop silver coins in her milk jugs to keep the milk fresher longer.
Yep, and I've already got a Kaleido Silver generator.
Yeah,
that's
I talked Charlie into that.
What I'm just saying is finding a way to generate funds out of the things that you can't take with you to help your situation, whether it be seeds, filters, whatever. I mean, you've got your knives. We have all got our guns and ammo, blah, 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 all that crap. But there are shortfalls that we all have. And if you go through your house and be really critical, you could really purge a lot of your stuff and gain dollars from people that are oblivious to what's going on. Let them have it. If it brings them joy and it brings you dollars, both of you have had that exchange where they feel that they got a deal and you feel that you're more prepared. That is the end result.
Yeah, Brenda's already
Awesome
done all that around here, Charles. You're right. I mean, once you've established yourself in any place for any length of time, you accumulate more of what we call wealth that doesn't really become wealth. It becomes a burden. Once the burden is removed, you have the freedom of not having to worry about that the next morning. Okay, It's gone. It's a complete burden relief. It's gone.
And that's exactly what Jimmy's going through now. He's getting ready to do his move, and he's having to purge through his stuff as well.
Yep. Already have. I've already filled up 2 55-gallon drum liners. So it's underway. It's underway. And a lot of it's just stuff like, oh, I can use that later. No, I'm not going to use that later.
No, it just goes on
right.
and on.
Because if you start doing that, then you become a hoarder. And then if you go out and look in my shed right now, it's going to take me a week to go through that motherfucker, man. So yeah. But Charlie, thanks. This is why I love having you on here, man. You are so full of information that it just dribbles out of your mouth, man. Just,
you could have just stopped right at "you're full of it." That would have been
perfect. Charlie, you are a character of your own making, because of things you bring to the table are a reality of what we should be looking at in the times we're in.
I was trying to think of what to call him, and character is a very good thing. That's a good. I'll start calling him a character.
Hey, look, I'm not offended. I don't need a safe space.
Right. I took my butt hurt pill this morning.
Dave's my man when it comes to battle. I mean, he sees things in the way I see them. I don't want to see them that way, but if people really want to get down and talk dirty about it, I can bring shit to the table that will blow your mind,
Yeah.
Because I've been there. I know what death is. I know what bringing death on is about. And let me tell you, it's not funny. I hear people say, we've been at war for years. Bullshit. You ain't been nowhere but down to the liquor store, buy you a six-pack, come back home, throw a couple burgers on the damn grill, and have a little Barbie.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You don't even know what a fucking war is. When it's in your back door, you're going to know what it is. Because you're going to shit your pants, and then you're going to be reaching for something that you ain't got because you ain't prepared for shit. That's the reality of life.
All right, we got a couple minutes left. Is there any breaking news over there, David?
Well, they're talking about this delegation that South Korea is sending to North Korea. And it says...
I pray for those boys.
It says... Moon's North Korea delegation says Moon's trying to dance with both partners, the U.S. and North Korea, but he knows North Korea isn't going to denuclearize. He's sending a peace delegation that will bring fake peace. He could end up being rejected by both the U.S. and North Korea. They're comparing to what Moon's doing to South Korea to Neville Chamberlain, who was duped by Hitler in pursuit of appeasement. It says Chamberlain enjoyed every high approval rating too. It says, but wars happen when deterrence fails. If the U.S., South Korea, Japanese alliance cracks. So, Japan and America are concerned with what South Korea is doing, with the moves they're, trying to reapproach with North Korea. We don't want that to happen.
Wars happen.
So it doesn't matter what these envoys try to arrange between North Korea and America. This war is sealed. They want this war.
Wars happen when the banks want them, though. I mean, that's the only thing I quibble with. When the banks want them, they're going to happen, and we're getting ready to see another one because it's time.
That time for another world war. It really, truly is.
Yeah.
America.
They want to reset. They said it on the Economist cover back in the 70s or the 80s or something like that. They said get ready for a new world currency, and it was for this fucking year. They want a new world currency. They're going to take everything digital so that they can track every single dollar that everybody spends on this fucking planet. And this is it. This is it. I mean, they've been prepping for it forever. They've got all their pieces in place on their chessboard. And, yeah. Pop some popcorn, folks.
Yep. It's coming, man. That's a fact.
So, all Dave, right, with that sexy-ass voice you got going on, what are you doing after the show?
Taking some Dramamine and going to bed.
Wow! Whoa! Calm down. I didn't know you named it that, but all right.
Depends how much money you got.
I got a date with Mucinex,
Are you minimum wage or no?
We may have to have an after-show chat.
No, man, just messing with the Dave Meister. Just gonna give him shit.
Yeah.
It was a good show. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. Good show. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys and hang up on you.
Oh.
Play a song for the folks and call it a night, man.
I feel bad.
Well, hey, man, we're 2 minutes over already, so.
Oh, damn, 2-minute overwarning.
You going to be ready to go on Wednesday?
I should be. I got, I'm pretty good at work right now. I just had a little shitstorm last week, so.
Right on.
But I'm doing better today. I actually ate real food today, so I'm happy.
Are you pooping?
We're not going to discuss that.
I'll wear my I pooped today shirt next show. Just for you, man. I'll check on you. How you feeling, Charlie? Did you poop?
I pooped. It's good. It's great.
It came out solid too, dude. I think I'm healthy.
It's sweet. It's awesome.
It didn't stink.
It's potpourri.
Yeah.
Potpourri smell.
I shitted a rose. All right. Bye, you guys. Thanks for coming on. Charlie, Vaughn, David, appreciate you.
Everybody, it's been real, guys. Been a pleasure. You guys out there in the chat, too. Thank you.
Talking about poop's real, man.
I'm telling you. Poop lives matter.
That's right. Poop lives matter. You heard it from Charlie first, everybody. Poop lives matter.
Yes. There we go.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Jace, goodbye, for Christ's sakes.
Goodbye already.
Good night. Oh, Jace, for the love of goodness.
Jeez. I love having him on, man. Charlie's one of my bestest. He's cool people. All right, for those of you that wanted to know just a tiny bit more information about the information that I got, I'll tell you this. When you come to next week's show, bring your Bible. If you have a Bible, I hope you all have a Bible. If you have a Bible, bring your Bible. I'm going to have some things for you that I want you to read in that Bible, and then we'll do a discussion. We'll have a little discussion. We're going to make this kind of like a live Q&A, maybe. I might be stepping out on a limb, man, but he's putting it on my heart to do this. So here we go. Strap yourselves in for it. It's going to be it'll be a ride on Wednesday. Whew. Can't believe I'm doing that. Okay. Let me pull my music up so I can play you guys another one. Love, peace, and cookies, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday. Better be here. It'll be a shocker.
The evolution theory did not start with Charles Darwin. It started way before that. It actually started in the Garden of Eden with Satan when he said to Eve in Genesis chapter 3, Eve, if you eat off that tree, ye shall be as gods. The whole idea that man can progress and evolve and become better, is an idea that came from the devil in the Garden of Eden. Darwin simply made the theory popular.
Historical examination, investigate for solid ground and foundation. We dissect the infection, cut it out if it fits with intentions of Satan. Illuminate the deceptions, point them out and expose them for causing stagnation. They imitate education and invade the system like an infestation. We present explanations, annihilate and confiscate abominations. Shine light on illusions and inspire young minds to arrive at conclusions. Reconnect with corrected connections, then collect and reflect on the questions. Develop skills using scriptures as weapons. Sword at the spirit at my side for protection. Stand firm in my helmet of salvation and meditate on Ephesians 6:10.
Natural selection, fact or fiction. It's all objective to ask the question. What's the truth? What's imagination? Evolution or creation? Natural selection, fact or fiction. It's all objective to ask the question. What's the truth? What's imagination? Evolution or creation?
We suspect and expect some tensions. Flex my rhymes like muscles and tendons. Next lesson, course of session. First impressions, advertise perplexing. Educate with creation. With the Bible at our sides, it's truth domination. We battle demons from other dimensions. They make inventions with evil intentions. Not to mention they take possession on the battleground. They enter human beings through deception. Object to the voice when you see reflections. Called to the witness stand for inspection. Natural selection, fact or fiction. Examine the questions, don't get fished in. Education of delusion. Bait and switch from the micro to the macro evolution. Let's arrive at solutions using the word of God to eliminate confusion.
Natural selection, fact or fiction. It's all objective to ask the question. What's the truth? What's imagination? Evolution or creation? Natural selection, fact or fiction. It's all objective to ask the question. What's the truth? What's imagination? Evolution or creation?
Nobody's ever proven a good mutation. Some people say, well, bacteria become resistant to drugs. I say, yeah, that's because they lost information. It's like you go, somebody's coming through town and they're handcuffing everybody, hauling them off to jail, going to kill them. But you don't have any arms, so they can't handcuff you. You say, wow, that's beneficial. Well, it might be beneficial for the moment, but it's not beneficial in the long term, okay?